Purple eye in the canyon. That's where I long to be.
So what are we doing?
With my three
Yeah, cool, bro.
good companions.
Yeah, so it's the first one here.
Dude, thanks for having
Exciting times. Yeah.
I don't know anyone that has an actual podcast studio, so
Yeah, I don't either. That's why this has been such a
That's
process.
good, dude.
How do you like those levels? Are you cool with it?
yeah, it's great. How do you how do you?
I don't know. I'm an idiot, and I of course forgot my freaking headphones.
We don't have an adapter on the bus, do we?
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll freaking hold it against you though. That was your job to bring those.
Dude, I had them and I forgot. It slept too late.
Yeah. So how you been, dude?
Good, dude. I've been busy as shit, on the road and riding and
Yeah.
raising babies. Doing it all.
Yeah, I know. How many do you have?
3.
No songs. I wouldn't ask.
Oh,
about the
yeah,
kids.
yeah,
I don't
no,
care
like-
about the kids. I'm just
Me
kidding.
either, me either, dude. Songs are way cooler than kids.
How
Um,
many kids do you have? You got 3?
I got 3, man.
I guess I didn't know you had that many.
Oh yeah, it's I mean I'm 25 too, so I'm in the thick of it, and we've decided we're done at 3, but we're also like she turns 26 in December, so we're like, do we want to decide this right now? Like, do I need to go get, or do I need to give her a couple of years and make sure we don't want a 4th baby? But
Yeah.
4 is, I don't know, 3 is crazy.
Yeah, I know, and you're not even that old. So.
I feel really old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like the 3 kids or the constant touring or the 3 kids probably, but
Yeah. But you played a bunch of sports, right?
Yeah,
Do you
I did.
think that might be why you feel old?
Well, right now, actually, yes. I actually just went and got an MRI Monday for my right knee. We were on the road with Co, and I think we were in Minneapolis or somewhere around there, and they had this like pickleball court set up and this big ass like open gym with a wiffle ball thing and everything. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be a great day, man. We go out there and play pickleball, and I run. I'm trying way too hard. Bam, I hit it. But when I hit it, I like jammed my knee like straight in the ground like that, and it was just like,
Did it hyperextend or what?
it didn't hyperextend. It just like compressed, right? Like just bam, and it kind of hurt in the moment, but it wasn't bad. Anything super bad. And then I went to the next morning, I woke up and it was like that big. I was like, oh, fuck, dude, my knee's going to explode. And then for the next like 3 weeks, I was worried about having my leg amputated for no reason,
I think I saw a picture of you with like a brace on or something.
Yeah. So I had this brace on and people were like, dude, you look fucking awesome with that leg sleeve. And I was like, please don't think that I'm just out here wearing a leg sleeve golfing.
Gosh.
My knee's messed up. So I think that was probably the last day I wore the brace. I was like, I'll just hurt a little. hurt.
Like you're freaking LeBron out here.
Yeah, dude. I'm out here making 40
Doing
million on the
sound
course.
check.
If they, I mean, I've never shot under 100 on the course. So if I'm bold enough to wear a
Oh, you're bad.
Oh, I'm bad.
Oh no. How does that feel?
Not good. The opposite of good. It feels really bad,
Yeah.
actually. No, and JT, my tour manager, what are you shooting? Like mid 70s, low 70s? Yeah. So he's got, 30 plus strokes on me.
Daggone.
It's, he's my teammate. He's not
How
my
many does he
opponent.
give you? How many strokes?
He's my teammate. We don't compete.
Y'all just scrambo?
Yeah. We'll go out there and do a little dual scramble, Or
Okay.
if we go 1-on-1, I'll keep my score the first 3 holes, 4 holes. And I'm like, dude, there's mathematically there's a chance that I could reel this in and we could do it today. And then I triple bogey 5 through 9. And I'm like, hey man, it's hot out here. How about play 9 and go back to the bus and play video games?
I thought that was
get
where
high?
you were just gonna crack open a beer or something.
Well, that's normally why I do that is because we've got a couple drinks, we've got a joint, and we're like, oh, this is the best thing ever. And I'll do really good on like hole 1 and 2, and then hole 3, I'm like, whoa, I feel like I can't really. And then I slice shit out of it.
We got shows coming up. October 4th is Hobbs, New Mexico. October 11th is Cedar Park, Texas. And then October 19th is Lubbock, Texas at the Blue Light. And then November 2nd, we're in the Stockyards in the great Fort Worth, Texas at Hannah Hills. All those tickets are still available. We'll see you out there. It's one of the most humbling sports.
Oh, yeah, because then you watch somebody that's like, I don't know, they look like they can't even move. And they go out there and they swing this far back and then they,
I
it's
know.
beautiful.
I feel like the short swing has gotten more popular here recently.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man.
So JT can freaking.
He can whip it. He needs to be sponsored. He's what, he like 10 strokes away from the tour?
You can answer. You what?
Whatever,
10
man.
stroke, but you consistently shoot in the 70s?
He's during the week he's playing like 6 times a week at the house, dude. He's got a membership. He's locked in. I need to get rolling.
Did you start playing like pretty late? You didn't play growing up?
No, I didn't, dude. My parents were country as shit. Like, we didn't watch sports growing up. We didn't do any of that. My dad was always big into rodeo and big into like,
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, he loved that stuff, man. And I love it too. And I remember as a kid, he wanted me to be a team roper with him so bad, and I had no desire to do it. I was like, dude, I'd already fallen off a horse like 8 times at this point. I was like 4 years old. I'd hit my head on a. I got on a horse, and we were in a pen, and somebody that worked at the ranch had left the gate open, and there was the overhead on the gate. The horse took off. It was a short overhead, and I hit my head and had to go to get a CTE at like 4 years old. So I was, I'd had some experiences.
Was that the last time you were?
No, I do. The last time I was on a horse, I also fell off. I remember it was a crazy, like, I'd been told already, like, hey, that horse is a little wild. Don't get on it. Let somebody else handle it. I'm like, all right. And my dad is like, hey, boy, get up on that horse, ride it back in the pen. I was like, well, Dad, they said, don't do that. He was like, fuck, don't be a pussy, get up there. All right. I got up there, make it like 20 feet, and then that horse throws me off. And I still remember like laying under the horse and watching the hooves come down like all of us around me, like, oh, fuck. And never stepped on me, but it was the closest I've been to being stepped on. And I was like, yeah, cars are cool.
So, but your dad was still always into it.
Oh yeah, he loved it, dude. He was always. I mean, he worked on a ranch, and when I first, I guess, was kicking, he drove cow trucks. So from the time that I was like popped out of the womb, like he was bringing me in his fucking Peterbilt to go to like Oklahoma, like on a 3-day trip. He would bring me in my car seat and sit me in the front passenger seat of the truck, dude. It was cool. And I did that from the time that I was a baby until I was in like kindergarten. And all through kindergarten still, I probably skipped the maximum amount of days you could skip legally. And I was gone, just traveling, which is, I think that's why I enjoy doing what we do so much. Like, I'm gone all the time, but it's like, it feels like something I've always done, just traveling to these new places and seeing these new towns. But yeah, he did all of that. And then he worked on a ranch for the next like 8 years of my life. And it was always just out there just doing, cowboy shit. And he would get off work and he would go to like these friends' houses that had pins, and they'd do team roping together, and I'd just sit there and watch, like, wow, this is cool as shit. I just love watching it. It's wild.
Well, you just didn't really get the bug for it.
I at one point, like, there was times as a kid where I was like, oh, this is awesome. I want to be a bull rider. I'm way too big to be a bull rider.
We all wanted to be a bull rider at some point.
I saw 8 seconds. I was like, oh my God, this is fucking awesome.
Doubt. We want to till we have to get on.
Well, I rode a goat or a sheep, whatever the fuck. The sheep, sorry, not a goat, at a young age, right? And I was like, oh fuck, here we go. And I get out and I make it probably 10 feet. And those things just like take off. So I was like holding on, and then I'm like, oh fuck, this is fast. And I fall off, and the goat stepped on my stomach, and I had this this sheep hoof print right here in the middle of my.
How old were you?
I was like 4.
Man, a lot happened when you were 4.
We're just assuming. Maybe I was 3, maybe I was 5.
When did you have your first kid?
4.5. It was an interesting year. An interesting year, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, me and my wife, we actually had our first kid right out of high school. It's pretty
That's right.
Pretty gnarly. Not 4, but basically.
Yeah.
Basically, dude. We we were.
And she was your same age.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yes. We were both seniors in high school. And we started dating as seniors, and we're lucky we didn't wind up fucking, pregnant high schoolers like some idiots.
Wait, I mean, I thought you kind of were, no?
We were close. We were real close. We graduated in May, and in we found out we were pregnant in like August or September. So it was like, oh fuck, man. Like, people were still looking at us like, really? You?
All right. So that would have been what year?
That would have been 2017 whenever we found out we were pregnant.
Okay. And your first record was in 2019.
My first full record was 2019, but we released our first song. That would have been 2017. We released our first song in 2017, that November. Like, we found out we were pregnant, and it was like 2 weeks later, we were going in the studio for the first time. We'd taken like graduation money. I think I got like $5,000 or something in graduation money. Like it was like, oh, this is great. But then I took that and JT had some too, and we had these options. We're like, all right, we have like 12 songs. We can either go to this dude and make a full length record. He said he'd do it for $1,000, which seems like a bad idea. Okay, maybe not. But
He said for how much?
$1,000. He
Yeah,
said out for 13 songs,
Oh,
$1,000, and we were
my
like,
God.
dude, no way. And then like we sat there and thought about it. And we're like, dude, no way. Like that's
no way.
not right, man. And then he was a sweet guy. He was probably just trying to help us out. But and there was this other guy who we went with. His name is Philip Mosley, and he did our first few projects. And I don't remember what it was, but it was it was probably around like 5, 6, $7,000 to do a full length EP. And we're like, okay, this feels like it makes more sense in our head. And then when we got what it sounded like back, we're like, oh, this is great, man. This is great. And so we put out that first song in November that year, though. It's this song called Every Single Kiss. And me and JT, I was 15 years old. JT was 16. And we wrote with this dude named Ty Stokes was it Cedar Creek? On Cedar Creek Lake. We went out there. And I literally couldn't drive. So like JT came to my house, picked me up. Was like, all right, let's go. We drove another hour down the road to Cedar Creek and we wrote the song. And after we finished it, we're like, dude, this is fucking awesome. Like this has to be our first single. And we're like, yeah, we're going to go record it right now. And we went to this real shitty studio and it sounded awful. And we never did anything with it. But then when we graduated, we actually recorded it and put it out. And that was kind of the start. So like we found out we were pregnant in September, recorded in October, put out a single in November. And when I was like finishing college. I was in my first year of college out of school. Like I did all the college in school. I was like a sophomore, junior, or some shit when I graduated. So I had 1 year of college and then 2 years of nursing school because I was going to be a nurse. So
Okay.
My family's all nurses. My mom is, my wife is, my grandma, my aunt, and I'm sure there's more people. There's so many nurses. Like they're all into helping all that shit. And I was like, yeah, that seems great. I want to do that. And but then after we put the song out, it was like I was working for my grandpa full time, so I'd get up at 6 or 7 a.m., go, and he had this big ranch, and he also had a construction company. So I'd either go and do fun shit on the ranch, like sit on a tractor and mow all day, or I'd go fucking build houses, which was, the opposite end of the spectrum. Like, oh, this is why I'm out here, not going to, why am I not trying to make music work or whatever. But then over the next like 5-6 months, like it was a slow build on all the like, I guess, music platforms, and it was like getting bigger. And I was like, oh, dude, college kind of sucks ass. I think I want to.
No kidding.
I think I want to stop. And I remember at the end of that first year, it was I guess May. We were over at my mom's house, and my wife and my mom sat me down. They were like, Kolby, you're supposed to apply for nursing school in a month. What if you just take a break for a year and pursue music and do what you actually want to do, and then come back if it doesn't work? And I mean, as a kid, or as a 18-year-old kid, I was like, holy fuck, like, are you sure? You don't want me to, like, you
That's
don't want me to.
funny that you're the one questioning. Like, are you guys giving me bad advice right now?
Well, exactly. That's how I was like. I mean, like, I still remember like the way I felt. I was like, holy fuck, like they're serious. Like like I had this. It was almost like a weight lift off my shoulders. But I was like, this feels wrong. Like, are you sure? Like I remember, my dad, he passed away when I was a freshman in high school, and I remember like he wanted me to go to college and do the whole thing, and I was just like, oh fuck, dude, what are we doing? But also like he's the reason I got into music. Like he was such a big music junkie. We would always, like I was saying, we in the cow truck, we'd be listening to fucking Waylon and Ragweed and Randy Rogers and Reckless Kelly, all these, Charlie Robinson, all these like just legends in Texas and Oklahoma. And at a young age, I got the bug. Like, man, this music thing is cool.
Yeah.
But I never learned how to like play guitar or anything until I was like 13 or 12. JT, we'd go to, he's been my best friend since we were in 4th grade. So we've known each other for a long time. And same as my wife, we've known each other since 4th grade. But I go to JT's when we were kids and we'd play video games, we'd play sports or something. And then I remember it was like middle of summer. I came over and I was like, yeah, let's play video games. And he picked up a guitar and he started playing Sweet Home Alabama. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? When'd you learn how to play guitar? And he's like, oh man, my uncle taught me like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, dude, you got to teach me. And like 15 minutes later, we went in the living room. And I was like, Julie, watch, I learned how to play Sweet Home Alabama. And I sit there and I played it a little bit. And she's like, wow, that's awesome. And it's just, it's funny to look back and think that was like the beginning of all this shit.
It's crazy. That was like freshman year.
No, that was shit, 6th grade. It was, I mean, no. I mean, we would have been 10 or 11. Yeah. So it was like 6th, 7th grade, dude. Got all these dates. We were 4 years old and we both learned to play guitar.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
great, man.
right.
Really
and then
good.
you all had a kid together as
Yeah,
well.
me and JT. We have a third kid.
Very progressive.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. It's a beautiful thing. You should look into it.
Which brings me to my next topic, transitioning. Okay.
All right, here we go. You want to hear about this? God, dude.
So the college thing, your freshman year.
Oh yeah.
What's weird is I didn't remember that you had music out in 2018.
Yeah.
Did you take down some of that?
No, it was just
I guess though the EP, it was a single off that EP, and then the EP came out in 2019.
No, yes. No. The single came out November 2017, and then our volume 1 EP came out February 2018. So it was like it was end of 2017, early 2018, and then we didn't release anything else until the end of 2018, I think. So I think we kind of just put those 6 songs out within like 3 months. Well, we also didn't have any fucking money, so we were like, all right, we just spent all of our money on this EP. Here we go. And then we put it out, and then it was just like that year of watching it rise and going, damn, man, this is wild. And then we took the year off of college. I took the year off college, and we started pursuing it full time. And I think for that first full year that we were pursuing it, we didn't make any money. Like, we didn't take a single dime from the, I guess, the money we were making. Not that we were making any money on the road, getting a couple $100 to open a show.
Yeah.
Making $150 in merch. We were barely fucking putting gas in the thing, but we didn't take any money the first year. And then after like a full year mark, we were like, oh, well, now we're making a little bit of money. Maybe we can get paid. And then since then, it's been our full-time gig, man. That summer I quit. Well, I quit working for my grandpa. Just like, hey, man, I'm getting pretty busy. I think that I need to, these 4 days on the road are going to be a lot. And then coming back home, I need to chill. And, if you need help, let me know. But then we moved to Tyler pretty quick after that too. So it was, shit happened fast. As far as just, life, it comes at you fast, man.
Yeah. When you say this freaking, I'm at this cage.
Oh, I'm so sorry, dude.
Oh, it's totally your fault. Don't be such an asshole about it. When you say like we didn't take a dime or anything like that, like who all was involved at that point?
It was really me and JT. Me and JT just kind of out of high school, like we just would write songs and we do the whole thing, and it was just me and old Toddles, and then slowly people, I guess, kind of started coming on and stuff. We would pay like the guys that were out on the road. We would pay musicians, and we'd pay any. Well, we didn't have crew guys, but we'd pay the guys on the stage at least, and so it wasn't awful. We were paying like 2 guys a night, and then 2 guys were just eating it. So we were like, all right, we can make this work. So I feel like it's easier than having to pay a full band and also yourself on a couple $100.
So you've had JT,
Mhm.
and then JT's co-written a lot of stuff.
JT, when we were, he was my like first co-writer when we were kids. After learning to play guitar, we're like, well, what's the next logical step? And I was like, I guess it's writing songs. And we started, ripping off Randy Rogers songs and ripping off all of our favorite artists until we finally figured out what we wanted to make, I guess,
Yeah. What did you want to make at that point?
At that point, it was really just like just Texas stuff. Like I just wanted to make Texas music, I think, and just wanted to make shit that felt authentic to me and shit that, like, I don't know, stuff that made me happy, really. And I don't think that's changed. I really just want to make shit that makes me happy and shit that like makes me go, oh, that was cool. Like that itched a musical scratch that I've been trying to itch or something,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's a wide variety of from I guess what I want to make. I want to make anything. I would like to make a fucking rap record. I'm not a rapper. You know what I mean? Like I'd like to just make anything. I like genre. I like every genre, I guess. I like just music in general.
Have you noticed that? I hate to like segment it into like generations and old
Yeah.
versus new, but it seems like to me some older generations are a little bit more focused on genres and
Yeah.
staying true to genres.
Yeah.
And then younger generations, it's kind of like even I want to say like the younger generations is thrown out the window a little bit because maybe we had the internet and we were exposed to more stuff. You
Yeah.
know, before the internet, if you were just driving around here locally, like either you had your own CDs or records.
Yeah.
I mean, before you even had like CD players, or you had the radio. So whatever was put on there
Yeah.
was you were kind of in a bubble. But even when I say that, I kind of disagree with myself, honestly. Because like our parents
Yeah.
and like my parents, my dad had like a really pretty wide
Yeah.
opinion on music, and he liked a lot of different stuff. There was just sort of a central theme of like, is it good or not?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I don't know. I feel like people have always just been pretty open to things just being good or not good.
Yeah.
But the world of radio, it seemed maybe was the thing that started to confine because you had to find a way to like make
Yeah.
it marketable. And
Absolutely. I think like, I mean, to speak to what you're saying, I mean, Spotify's and any streaming service, I think is totally like, you know, there's always been people that listen to all this shit. But there's, you know, I think there's definitely a ton of those super opinionated, like, this isn't country, this isn't rock, or this isn't XYZ. But I think that streaming is really like, I mean, you go to my playlist and you click right here and get Rose in Paradise by Waylon, and then go into, you know, No Vaseline by Ice Cube, and then into like Reeling in the Years by Steely Dan. Like we go all over the place. If I just have fun, man. I like to listen to any songs. And like I don't know, maybe people are different, but I could, you know, like that classic meme where it's like going from like George Strait to 50 Cent. Like I can do that no problem, dude. I'll vibe no matter what, you know.
yeah, maybe our taste has just gotten even wider.
That's probably
I
it.
think it was already pretty wide. Granted, you always have those people that are sort of the purists.
Yeah.
And ironically, some of the people that are the most pure when it comes to genres, oftentimes, in my experience, are people that don't create
Yeah.
anything.
Absolutely. They're just it's so, and it's just like, it's kind of like having an opinion on a sports team. Like it's like you have no actual anything to do with it, but it's like, oh my god, dude, did you see what Jerry Jones did? That fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You know, it's stuff like that, man. But it's,
How do you throw an interception?
yeah, dude, what the fuck, Dak?
What a
Are you
loser.
serious? How do you break your leg, man? What the fuck, man? You know.
Babe, meatloaf done.
Dude, exactly. That's the kind of guy, you know. That's the kind of guy. But yeah, people are, I don't know, and that's the beautiful thing about the world, man. I guess that people have their opinions, but
I like opinions.
Some people are just heavy on the opinion and not heavy on the other people's opinion, you know?
Well, maybe the thing is that they don't realize their opinion is just that.
Wrong.
Well, it could be wrong. Well, I guess that's the thing is it could
Yeah.
be wrong.
No, it
And
is
it's
just
just an opinion.
It's-
But they're like, no, this is what I'm thinking and what I'm saying is absolute fact.
That is fact. All 8 billion people should feel the exact same way
It
I'm
is a
feeling
fact
right
that it's
now.
your opinion.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
buddy. It's a fact that you are thinking that currently.
Man, but I struggle with it because obviously I got strong opinions too. And yeah, there is something if you were to explain music to somebody else, I think there's something helpful with having genres and sort of adhering to them.
Absolutely.
You know, because if I'm like, if I'm in the studio and I'm like, I'm going for more of like a country thing or I'm
Yeah.
going for more of this thing, I want to be able to explain that and it
Absolutely.
makes sense.
Absolutely.
Like
That's
when I
the
say I
biggest
want a
nightmare.
Motown groove, it's like that's a specific thing.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're doing trap beats and they're calling it Motown, it's like, well, that's not Motown.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's some, I get it.
I fully understand it, and I've like, as a kid, I was, because my dad was opinionated. Like he was like that same way where he was like, man, this is fucking lame. Why are we listening?
Yeah,
You know, don't
yeah,
listen to that or whatever. Listen to this. And you know, I think at a young age, I was just like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that is bad because it's from there. That is fucking. He's awful at writing songs. Or he's blah blah blah. You know. And then the older I got, I would listen to it and be like, man, this actually isn't bad. And you think he was just kind of being an asshole, you know?
Dude, I was such a douche when I first learned to play guitar.
Oh, dude.
It's been still pretty douchey at times. Like, don't get me wrong, but I was like thinking back on. I got a lot of buddies now that are just like, when they hear some of the music that I'm into,
Uh-huh.
they're like, dude, you probably would have fought yourself when you were 18.
Me too. I swear to God, I like when I first got on the road, like all these dudes in our band, like, and I was telling somebody the other day, I feel like nobody listens to weirder music than artists, like, or musicians. Like, I don't know if it's just like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's
Weird
something.
it's just probably not what's popular right now.
Yeah.
But it's more than a theory at this point because I've just like tried to pay attention to it. But most of the stuff that like musicians are listening to in about 5 years, that's what's popular.
Yeah. Well, that's shit.
So it's just like it's weird right now.
Yeah.
People are like, "What is that?" And
They're
in
just-
5 years, they're like,
they're just they're locked in. I got you. We listen to
But I agree. It's like they're pretty out there on some stuff.
Oh yeah, we listen to you listen to Primus. You listen to Primus?
No.
Oh my god, dude. Well,
Is it pretty heavy?
It's heavy, but it's not like Slipknot heavy. It's just like he's one of like the greatest bass players ever. It's like these crazy ass bass riffs that are like they're just crazy. It's kind of the only way to describe them. And the songs are crazy, and the videos are like, I mean, if you I don't like to get too high and watch the videos because they're like fucking. It's like tripping watching them. They're insane.
Oh, no.
Dude. Oh, they're wild.
That
They're
would
like,
not be good for me.
They're pretty crazy, man.
I'm a paranoid type.
well, then don't watch
Like
it.
I will, yeah.
Listen
Oh
to
my
it. You should check out Primus. They're pretty out there as far
When
as
so
like, weird.
there's within like the Texas thing and some of the country stuff, I've definitely seen like an influence of some metal.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously,
yeah.
I mean, and in that, you're kind of in that world a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you get into metal, or is that like an influence from some people that you play with?
I think that it's less for me. It's less metal and it's more like as a kid I never got huge into like I guess fucking who'd call metal I guess like Slipknot or bands.
Yeah,
of
I
that.
think I'm sure
Yeah,
that would
exactly.
get roasted.
Like,
Micah's a Slipknot metal. Who's like some of the big metal bands that you would think of?
Yeah, who'd you say?
Micah was a metal drummer growing up.
Any. Okay, well I've heard of them.
August Burns Red is metal. It's considered metal, really.
See, that's what I mean about
Metalcore.
genres. Like,
Did you hear that
bro,
little subtlety?
it's just rock. Like it's rock
He's
music.
like,
man,
well,
come
it's technically metalcore.
Dude, oh, and listen here, it's actually black metal, so it's actually pagan god metal. So you're gonna.
It's a black metal though.
That shit's crazy, bro.
Oh, that's a thing.
Yeah.
It's not it's not like racially.
No, it's not racially driven at all. It's like I think it's from like Norwegia or Norwegian. I don't fucking know.
Norwegia.
Is that a place? Or am
I don't
tripping?
think so.
I don't think so.
Norway.
Norway. Yeah, it's Norwegian.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's from Norway or some shit like that. It's like from Europe and where it's really cold.
Oh, dude,
And they dress like super like dark and like.
Is that like the same as the steampunk? What's the word that I'm looking? Who's the Du Hast guy?
Oh, dude, that's
Du Hast.
Rammstein, bro.
Is
I
that-
literally last night on stage sang Du Hast just for fun. I went Du Hast.
Good for you.
Well, because I just had this random thought. I was like, what if you woke up and you, what if you like went to bed? You're like, good night, love y'all, and then you woke up and you couldn't speak English anymore, but you fully spoke German.
Oh
Like,
no,
wouldn't that be crazy? And,
that would be
yeah.
insane.
And I didn't know any German to give an example.
Well, you had this thought on stage.
yeah.
Or were you talking about that on stage?
Yeah,
Oh,
I wasn't
no.
supposed to. I was just like, it was
Yeah.
like, we were starting like a love song, and I was like, here's a love song, and then I was just like, you know, what'd be fucking crazy, and they were
You
just
just went
like,
for it.
yeah, that's right, that would be crazy, and I was just like, I don't know
How
any German to give you an example, but then I was like, du hast, yeah, so I killed it. I don't know what is Rammstein? Are they?
Dude, they're German.
Yeah, they're super German. They're German metal,
I went down a TikTok rabbit hole one night.
buddy.
And I couldn't see.
When he walks up the
it's
steps,
it's one of the creepiest things.
walks up the steps, and then he
Mm-mm.
ram.
Mm-mm.
The big fire backpack. Have you seen that?
I'm not into it, dude.
Oh, I'm super into it. I
Really?
don't know if it's because I'm super high and I'm like, what the fuck is
Does
that?
it not creep you out?
No, no. I think it's because it's live. I haven't watched any of their music videos.
Now, have you read his Wikipedia page?
Okay, no.
That starts to get pretty sinister.
Okay, well,
That's where I start to like. I'm like, okay, if this is all an act, I've never been into kind of like the dark. There's like an element of the goth thing, but more like the punk.
yeah,
Pop punk goth thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Like,
yeah,
because it didn't have as much of like that dark, sinister thing.
yeah.
And then you get over there in that world.
It's
like,
straight. Like,
you start biting down.
I
you
mean,
know?
he literally like plays a murderer on stage or some shit, right?
Dude, well, there's like he's got all sorts of like sexual assault allegations,
well,
and
yeah.
crazy stuff, like weird,
Yeah,
really weird stuff.
Dude.
That personally, not into.
Yeah, personally, not a fan of that. Probably don't do that,
Yeah.
please.
So don't go down that TikTok rabbit hole.
I won't. I'll stay on him walking up the stairs and shooting fire out of his ass hole. That was that was a good one.
Yeah, I'm glad you made it specific.
Yeah.
I would have been really confused if you just said shooting fire out of his ass.
Yeah, ass hole.
Yeah, that was very specific.
Can't just come out of the cheeks, man.
Well, yeah. So how did the metal thing
Oh yeah, so like
kind of?
fuck, sorry for that whole. As a kid, like my dad, I remember I was always like just listening to country, just listening to Texas country, old country, like, and it was rare that he would put like, country that was on the radio on or anything. He was always like one of those purists, like, oh, this isn't country kind of thing. And I remember in 4th grade, for my birthday, he bought me the No More Tears record, the Ozzy Osbourne CD, with Mom, I'm Coming Home and No More Tears, Road to Nowhere, Mr. Tinker, all these badass songs.
So your dad was into?
Oh yeah,
okay.
he was into a wide variety of music, but I think like once he got into his 30s, it was more just like he was listening to country, and he would rarely, hey, check this out, Kolby. But we would always at the house from a young age. I don't know if you remember on I think it's on VH1 or MTV, whichever channel that is. They have this thing called Metal Mania. I don't know if any of you ever watched that.
Mm-mm.
You ever watched that? Dude, as a kid, so I was in middle school watching Metal Mania, and it's just rock music videos from like the late 70s to like the early 2000s, I guess. And it could be literally anybody. Like it's where I first, I guess, found my love of rock music and like big loud guitars and big drums and stuff. So it was really like, I guess, hair metal or hair rock, whatever you want to call it, where they have the big perms that look like my mom's hair that, comes out to here and goes down to here. And that stuff's where I first was like, oh, this is tight. Like seeing Ozzy on the TV with his long hair and Zach Wilde playing this fucking crazy solo on a Les Paul. It's like, how do I mix that with what I want to do? Like, how do I combine these worlds in a way that make me like satisfied? Where I'm like, oh, this is what I wanted to make, And after I got that CD, it was like this continuous path of like falling in love with rock. And then I got in high school, and like I found all these rock bands 20 years after their peak. Like I found Nirvana as like a 8th grader or something.
Yeah,
but
like,
that's
this
like
is
insane. Like from the
if you would have been that age when they were popular, I'm sure you'd have been into it.
I'd like to think so. I like to think I'd be
Well,
I'd be
8th
locked
grade.
in.
I mean, I don't feel like I even had a real understanding of music or even knowing what I did like.
Yeah.
Probably until around then.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's, I don't know, and I'm such a big like discoverer. Like I love finding new shit that I like. Like it's rare that I'll find someone that I jam and then I want to jam them for like ever. Like I'll listen to their shit for like when I was in high school, I got into Blink-182 really big, and I literally listened to their entire catalog, like all Blink-182 shit. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. Then all the Boxcar Racer stuff, which is like one of Tom DeLonge's side bands, all the Plus 44 stuff, that's Mark Hoppus' side band, and then Angels and Airwaves. Like this whole thing is just like, wow, this is really cool. And and nowadays it's anything. I really like finding like 70s artists that I'd never heard of now. And
why do you go by decades?
No, not yeah. I killed the 2000s.
I skipped the 90s, but
90s was a little much.
Those were the Bill Clinton years. So I skipped the
born.
90s.
Oh, Monica. Oh God, dude.
She ruined grunge music for me.
Monica killed Kurt Cobain.
That's right. Is that a thing?
No, I think it's totally Courtney.
Dude, that sounds like a t-shirt or something.
Monica Lewinsky killed Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, I mean, what a weird. You could probably develop some sort of conspiracy.
Oh, there's definitely a theory somewhere in there.
I don't know enough. I definitely got into the rock stuff later.
Yeah.
Middle school, I did the Pearl Jam
Dude.
thing, and then the pop punk stuff. I was all about it.
Yeah.
But then I think I got freaking because of football. Middle school, like, bro, just endless rock music.
Oh yeah, how are you gonna get hyped to Chattahoochee, man?
I get it, but like the Creed song, like all that stuff. Well, then that was like when I was younger, but yeah, in middle school it would have been more like the pop punk stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I just got wore out on it.
Yeah.
It like that kind of just, so I had like a way more mellower Like in high school, I was like super into like Jack Johnson and John Mayer and
I
stuff like that.
Jack Johnson is one of the greatest. I mean, so is John Mayer, obviously, but like I feel like he gets the love. I feel like Jack Johnson is one of those guys that like anytime you bring him up, you're like, man, that guy fucking sucks. Or like,
Who says that?
dudes in my band. Wait,
Really?
I'm pretty sure one of the dudes in my band. We had this conversation the other day because
He's done. It's an executive decision I'm making for
perfect.
you.
Hey,
He's
go
done.
get Taylor up. Tell him
He's
to
done.
get back to Colorado. He's out of here, man. But no, we had this conversation. He said that when he was in like middle school or whenever, that Jack Johnson and John Mayer were like a cult. Like it was like you either fucked with Jack Johnson or you fucked with John Mayer in his school in Austin. And that like there was like people that were like, oh, you fucking Jack Johnson, you know,
Really?
John Mayer. Yeah, it's weird.
What a weird.
really weird.
See, that once again gets back to the like what a
Weird
bizarre
opinion, dude.
yeah.
It takes one person to do it, and then it's like, yeah, you're right.
But we are like we're
Right.
just like a tribal
Yeah,
species that
you know,
we just like to band together.
you get
about
40
stuff.
people together that want to jam banana pancakes, man. Come on.
Dude, there might not be. That was like where it kind of started for me. Was playing guitar with my buddies,
Yeah.
and being able to play that mellow.
Oh,
I've always just for good and bad, usually for bad, I've just always wanted to be different.
yeah.
And like being different's cool, but being different for the sake of being different is kind of lame.
No, dude.
It's sort of that hipster thing.
I like it.
Really?
I like
It's kind of lame because now I've gotten to the point where I just like stuff if I like it,
Yeah.
regardless
Yeah.
of if it's popular or not.
Yeah.
If I like it, I like it. It
Yeah.
could be the biggest thing in the world,
Yeah.
and I'm like, this is dope.
Dude, I agree.
Which
But
is
I don't
fun.
I guess search out like the biggest things in the world because my wife shows me, you know, like we get in the car and like Sabrina Carpenter. Like whenever all that was happening with like I didn't know espresso.
Dude, it's popping in my
Oh
head
my
right
god,
now.
she is
It's
fucking
so good.
incredible.
Yeah,
And
it's
then,
really
but then
good.
it takes like it's like for every artist, I have to have that hook song, like that one song that makes me go, okay, maybe I do fuck with what they're doing. And then like the stuff that maybe you know I didn't like on the first listen. After I've heard the song that I do like, I'm like
Weird,
you know,
right?
I do like that.
There's
yeah.
like context for
It's
it.
really weird. It is really weird, and I feel like it's rarely like if you go to Spotify, it's rarely the number one song that I'm like, yes, that one clicks for me. It's like you know, you go to like number 4 or something. It's like, oh, I see what they're trying to do, and then I'll go back and listen through all their shit. I'm like, yes, this is really sick. You know,
I'm gonna disagree with myself a little bit here, but I'm kind of happy in a way that I get so strongly opinionated
Yeah.
about things, and I don't just like everything at first glance.
yeah,
Because I get to like explore something and like fall in love with something rather than just like I like everything.
absolutely.
It's like that's good, but because I'll get these really like the rock thing too.
Yeah.
I'm like kind of mad at myself that I didn't get it, and then but now I'm actually kind of happy that I didn't because now I'm like falling in love with it.
yeah, it gives you. Yeah, you don't want to blow your whole load when you're young, dude. You're gonna have
No,
nothing left to listen to.
We
you know?
definitely don't want to.
That'd be bad.
That would be really bad. You don't get freaking 3 kids that way. You know,
No,
you got to store up. You got to stockpile.
that's I have proof that I've
A lot of rainy days over
done
there.
it 3 times at least. We're locked.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to do it.
Well, I you know, teach you a thing or two, maybe.
Yeah, my least favorite question is the whole like, when are you gonna have kids
Oh my
thing?
god, dude,
What
I'm
a
sure
what
it's
a
miserable.
bizarrely intrusive question.
You really?
I like to bring up how intrusive it is.
Yeah.
Try to make it subtle. It's probably not very subtle. That's usually the way I am. But
Slight trolling.
well, it's like you
It's
get like an
nice.
old lady or an old man that like they think
They're the
being,
worst.
Well, so when are
have
you guys
no
gonna
awareness.
have sex? When am I gonna?
When you guys gonna do the dirty?
When am I gonna? Yeah, exactly.
They're asking. And
When I'm gonna release myself
When am I
inside?
gonna
You just asked me.
blow
when
one
am-
in my wife?
I
Is that what
that's
you're
what you
asking
just
me?
asked me.
You may not realize what you just asked me, but
Yeah.
that was crazy.
So I usually that's my go-to is like, well, I'm still trying to figure out how to do it. And they're like, what? All right.
What? What do you mean, man?
So then you're stuck in a world of
Yeah.
talking about having sex with
Some old
80-year-olds.
people, That's pretty awesome, right?
So you don't have to deal with that question.
No, I don't. But you know, as people still ask me, you know, like, when are you gonna have another one? I'm like, fuck, dude, I have 3 already. You don't think that I should stop? You know, should I go or should I not? You know?
I still find that to be what a weird question.
It's funny.
When are you gonna have another one?
Yeah, when are you gonna have another one? I don't know.
Like
I guess
they're
so.
coaching you. Let's go, boys.
Listen,
Get in there,
man,
Kolby.
Your kids draw close together. You better get after it right now, man. I'm just doing the math for you.
Oh
you know.
my gosh. Yeah, doing the math for you.
Oh man. No, I don't know. Like I don't want our kids to be too far apart either, right? So like that's kind of why we're like our oldest is 6, our second turns 4 in November, and our youngest is 18 months, turns 2 in January. So,
Dude, congrats on keeping it all. I know there's a lot of stuff that people don't see, but kind of
Yeah.
keeping it all together. I
Yeah.
mean,
Thanks,
still
man.
married,
yeah, still
got
married,
kids.
still married. I'm not an awful person. I don't
Dude, and
cheat on my
in
wife.
in your like in your early 20s to do all of that and then have some success, I think is just freaking gnarly.
Thank you, dude. It is insane, man. It's it's fucking awesome. It's stressful as shit, but it is, man. Like it's trying to find the balance is the hardest thing, I think. Because I mean, like the Parker song on the road, missing home, missing road, that kind of thing. It's so true. I think for most artists, like whenever I'm home, like we're full time touring, like 4 days, 3 days a week. We had I guess a Saturday off 2 weeks ago, but we hadn't had serious time off since May, and this is the first year that we've even had time off since we started. Like I mean, other than 2020, but in January we took all of January off for my boy's first birthday. We were gone all February. We would be home a couple days, but we were gone, every week playing. We were off, but like 2 days, all but like 2 days in March. And then April, same shit. We were heavy. And then May, same thing. We played 3 shows and we are off. And I was like, this is great. Like being able to be home for like, other than 3 shows for a full month and then going out on the road and touring hard and then come back home. Doing like a light heavy thing was awesome. But then since June, we've been pretty fucking hitting it hard and constantly on the road, So
Is there any rhyme or reason to that?
just I think it's really just kind of we have all these dudes, we want to pay the dudes and we want to I like I said, I enjoy doing it and I really enjoy going to new places. So if we can set up a tour to where we hit a city and a state we haven't hit, or hit even, I mean, at this point we've hit most states, but if we hit a state we haven't hit, that stuff's always cool. Or going back to markets we've done well, or I don't know, there's places we enjoy, man. It's just let's try to keep the wheels on the road to pay the boys and keep food on the table,
Definitely. I don't know if people consider, they normally just see the front guy,
Yeah.
and they see like the lights and photos and stuff, and it starts to get very like you centric, which I mean makes sense. I mean that's kind of like the face of it.
There's a whole,
but there's just so many people involved, and I don't know if people have ever thought about that a lot, or even the idea of the type of music that somebody records, or some of the things that they do in a business sense. Like there's a lot of people behind them that are riding on the success of that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's like honestly, like every day, dude. At one point every day, I have like this thought in my head that is just like, oh fuck, dude, so many people are depending on me to pay their bills and to keep this shit on the road. Like it's a stressful thought. But then I'm like, at the same time, it's like it's a huge blessing, right? Like it's like to be able to be in the position where I can pay these guys and have them on the road and we can do this whole thing is fucking insane. But it is also like the flip coin is like, oh my God, I got to keep doing this. We got to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think any business owner has that to a certain degree.
Yeah.
But I think anybody that hasn't owned their own business, I don't know if people consider that often. You like to think of the person that owns the business as just reaping all the rewards, and they don't care about anybody and they're just in it for the money kind of thing.
Not me.
No, and most people that I know that own their own business, at least small businesses.
Yeah, you can't be like that.
No, you can't.
It's gonna not be a business.
Yeah, nobody's gonna work for you. No,
It's gonna be a solo act. Just make money there. Come on.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah, it's actually an interesting thought of like doing whatever you want musically, like kind of being selfish with it.
Yeah.
Like the Sturgill thing where he just like goes off the reservation and does whatever he wants. It's like, okay, cool. But his stuff wasn't as successful.
Yeah. Well,
so like you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like I don't know. I mean, he got to a point maybe where he's just like, let's try something different. I don't know. I was wondering that same thing because what's the new thing? Is it Johnny Blue Skies or what's his new band?
Yeah, I just kind of did like an alter ego thing.
Yeah, which I don't know. I think there's 2 sides to it. Like one side is like, well, that's really cool, but then the other side is like, oh well, it didn't do as well as that, but it's still fucking really good, and people love it. Like I don't know, man. It's always like you're saying, like if it's good, it's good, and I think it's good. I just I guess he's doing it once.
Yeah, sure. Do you ever feel trapped a little bit? especially starting so young?
Yeah, I think I don't know if it's as much trapped or if it's just like I feel like I started so young. It's more just like it's less trapped and it's more like I'm have like a stress where I'm like I want to be trapped. Like I want to do this forever. And like I so far so good. I think that's more of the it's like the opposite. Like I want to make sure like I feel like I'm locked into this forever. And I do, but like I don't know. I enjoy doing it so much. Like I would love to play like 50 shows a year and fucking, hammer it for 3 months and then spend the rest of the time off writing an album and hang out with my family. But I mean, doing what we're doing, we're playing like around 100 shows a year, and it's, I don't know. I love it so much. But there are times where it is a little fucking just, wow, this is wild.
Yeah, that's actually interesting because you didn't really get to do a bunch of other stuff
No.
before you did that.
I worked for my grandpa for 2 years, making $10 an hour. So it's like, well, what's my alternative? I mean, you could always, I don't say what's my alternative. Like, I don't think you're ever trapped in anything. You can always go and fucking do your own thing. Go.
Yeah, but it gets to a point
college.
where, again, like you got so many people riding on you. If
Yeah.
you're just like, well, I just can't do this anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
well,
It's a bigger conversation.
it's not
than
that
just
easy.
Me looking in the mirror to myself and
Yeah.
going, all right, brother, we're done. It's me talking to, 12 dudes or 13 dudes going, all right, boys, all of you need to go find new jobs. Sorry,
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing is like we got I think 11 dudes on the road, including our driver. I mean that's like shit, dude, that feels insane to me. But then it scales up so fast. Like there's dudes like we were just on the damn near normal shit with Co. He's got fucking 5 buses now and 4 semis and there's so many crew dudes that they're like, I don't actually know these guys very well, but they've been on the road with us for 6 months. It's like, holy shit, dude, that's a different level. And then it goes from there to like Morgan Wallen, where there's like 40 buses and every semi in America there. Like the shit's crazy, man. It's really wild.
Yeah, I'd be curious how long. I feel like we're in a like an explosion of how popular like just music in general.
Yeah.
And live music is right now.
Yeah.
I'm curious how long that lasts, or because it seems big.
It seems really big. I mean, there's 4. There's 3 dudes in country music that can sell out football stadiums, that's a football stadium, dude. That's like,
Yeah, and what we don't really tend to consider is the technology to be able to make those shows happen.
bro.
Like when Elvis was around, he couldn't go play for that many people. We
Yeah.
didn't even have the sound and
Dude, I didn't even think
PA
about
system.
that.
Like we didn't have the technology to even do that.
But those stadium shows, man, I haven't been to one. Well, I guess I went and watched Billy Joel at AT&T with Stevie Nicks, but like
At that Cowboys deal?
that shit was
But
sick,
it sounds
man.
terrible in there.
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
it?
what I was gonna say. Is that like it was sick
So
to see
bad.
it, but it's just like I don't know. I mean, it's a fucking what do you expect, man? You're in a football stadium,
I
like
know.
it's so boomy and echoey.
Yeah.
Like and playing like I haven't played a stadium yet, but playing like the arenas and shit, like we've opened a few of them and like you can't pop an ear out, dude. You pop an ear out, then you get that like
Is it bad?
oh dude, it's wicked. It really is wicked. It's like and there's some places that are worse than others. I guess obviously like the bigger and the taller they are, the more it bangs off. But it's like I mean, it's almost like having like a speech jammer too when you're talking. It's like you hear that slight delay that's like it's funny. It's a weird problem that you don't think about,
Yeah, and then you just got people in the comment section. It's like if you even had like a technical difficulty or anything like
Colby
that.
was
with your-
hammered last night.
Yeah, and they're like, "Whoa, he's falling off." It's like, good grief! You just find this one
yeah,
freaking
dude.
video.
That's it. I don't
So
know.
I saw the Eagles there with Chris Stapleton at that stadium,
Nice.
and we ended up. It sounded well. Okay, I was gonna say it ended up sounding so bad. What happened was Daddy drank a little too much,
It's all right.
and then we were dancing in the aisle. I also apologize for looking you dead in the eye while I referred to myself as dead. That was my bad.
It's all right, man.
I should have glanced a little away for a
Getting closer
moment.
by the second. Man.
Yeah,
It's all right.
that's right. But my wife and I were dancing in the aisle, and it's the freaking Eagles. Like it was awesome. And then the usher and stuff like came over and kept making us move,
Usher was there,
which
dude?
is fun. Yeah, Usher personally.
Usher came to dude sit
He's a
down.
real dick. He hates dancing.
He's at every football arena and stadium too.
It's
He's
a
all
problem.
over.
I don't know how he gets around. So we kept dancing, and then they told us to get like closer over in our seats. So like we got to a point where we were pretty much close to dancing in our seats, and they still just were wearing us out about it. So I got pissed, and then
Yeah.
everybody around us was like, "Chill out, bro." And I
Yeah.
got mad at them. you know?
Dude,
So this is years ago too. And so we ended up just going to this little sidebar, like the little pit
Yeah.
sort of VIP areas. We went down in there, and they have a little bar thing, and we just danced down in there. But it cut out like a lot of the echo, and it cut out a lot of the low end too.
really
And it sounded awesome. In there.
nice. So that's
So I just looked for it. Sounded 10,000 times better.
Isn't that wild, dude?
Yeah.
Like you can sit in like those little like nooks and crannies in some of those big bitches, and it's like, oh, this feels like you're in a club with them. But then you get to like the actual seating, and it's just like
This is terrible.
all around you.
So there's some arenas that do well. Those stadiums with the roofs on. I wish they would open that roof.
Oh, I bet that would help a ton.
I don't know for a fact, but I
Not-
can't imagine how much it
Not
costs
no
to even
sound
open that thing.
engineer,
Though.
but oh yeah,
I would think that would help though.
Doesn't that stuff get fucking ridiculous? Like little things like that, like you know how much it costs to open this drawbridge, man,
Right.
or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you know
yeah.
to crank this boat one time, it's $5,000. You know,
Yeah, we'll talk about private. I mean, we got guys flying around in private
Oh,
jets
dude.
everywhere.
I mean, I think we fucking spend all my fucking money on this bus, dude. I can't. I mean, I was talking talking. We were down in Houston with Paul Cawthon, and one of Paul's from. I live in Tyler, Texas, and Paul's from there too.
You know him pretty well.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
What a cool cat.
Dude, one of the fucking
I
coolest.
played
dudes.
a private event with him.
Dude, he really is. He just like he just screams fucking cool.
I don't know
man.
him. I don't know him well.
Yeah,
but I'm like obsessed with a lot of his production and
dude, I mean, his before I got to know him, I was saying like his music videos and his on stage shit, his music, everything was like, wow, this guy, like you can just tell he knows what he wants to do.
dude.
right?
I want to work. You need to hook a brother up.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
want to like work with him, just jam
Let's go. I mean,
because he's free. He's got a free. He's like a pretty great producer.
yeah, I think he's pretty great at everything as
Yeah.
far as I know.
Well, I just don't know him that well. I don't know how. Sometimes there's like a mystique around
Yeah.
people, and then I don't know like who's involved and how
Yeah.
exactly.
He-
but I'm pretty sure he's
I think Bo Bedford is producing stuff. I don't want to lie.
Bo Bedford, like from around here.
I think so.
Is that the Bo?
I think so.
Interesting. Okay.
I think so. Now, if
Very
I just
cool.
completely lied, sorry, Paul.
Yeah. No,
Love you.
I don't. But I think Paul like co-produces a lot of his. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
And then he's like working with a bunch of other people too.
Yeah.
But I know you just can't get sounds that unique
yeah,
without.
without being heavily
Yeah,
involved,
yeah.
dude.
So anyway, sorry to derail you.
Oh no, you're good, dude.
You were with him like down in Tyler.
Oh
or
yeah, we
something?
were down
Yeah.
in town. What the fuck were we talking?
Or no, you were in Houston. You had
Oh yeah,
Jet.
sorry. We were down in Houston, and we played this show, and one of our buddies from Tyler was there, and he like we were outside the buses, standing, Paul was smoking a cigarette, smoking a joint, and we were just talking about these buses and how expensive they were or whatever. And then our buddy, he's loaded, and he's owned private jets and stuff, and he's owned these fucking airplanes and shit. And we're talking about buses, like, yeah, I mean, these things are so expensive, drivers and diesel and rent on whatever, yada yada, the whole thing. And he's like, yeah, man, I remember whenever I owned my plane one time, I went and immediately I was like, oh fuck, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, he was like, I went and got on it, and before we took off, the pilot came back there and he said, hey, man, there's a crack in the windshield. We're gonna have to replace it. And he was like, oh fuck, like right now? And he's like, no, it'll probably last, I think, another 10 hours or so, or 15 hours of flight time, whatever.
I don't think that's the thing I'd
Dude,
roll the dice on.
Same. When I didn't want to say it when he was talking about it, but I was just like, man, that seems like a bad part of the plane to go.
Let's
to go
squeeze
missing.
out.
It's
I
like-
think we can squeeze out another
Listen,
9
man, we
hours.
can make it to LA and New York 3 times.
I think.
Well, so then he's like, yeah, I had to get it replaced. And I asked him how much it was, and he said that he told him for the windshield of that plane, it was $200,000 for a new windshield. And he was like, we could get a used one for probably 120 or something like that. And it's just like, and if these numbers are wrong, I've never owned a plane.
All right,
So
look, here's the deal, bro. Oh, $200,000 for a windshield.
a windshield.
The fact that there's a used windshield market for jet planes,
It's bad.
we're still talking $100K,
Yeah.
half price. How does that even mean?
I don't know.
A used windshield?
I don't know. I didn't think that was a thing until he said it. And I was like, well, what are they like? How does that even work then? Because is it like, are they taking the used windshield off a plane that is just out of service? Or is it like that guy was just like, man, my windshield's dirty?
They're like, there's like a, yeah, like there's just a secondhand market.
It's not
for
like you can.
Well, mine's got 15. I don't know why he has that accent, but I love it. Mine's got 15 hours left, probably. This one's got like 22. I'll trade you. You give me 50 grand in cash. I'll trade you my 15.
And that shit's like not even just how expensive the windshields are. I mean, just taking the plane up. That's like the thing. Oh, if you crank this bitch, you better be ready to play or pay, you know. Going, I mean, 2 hours cost you 20 grand or something. You know,
It seems to be
so
highly
wild,
inefficient. I love seeing the ones too where like the people talk about climate change or whatever. Or I'm still saying global warming. I'm holding them to the mat. I'm still calling it global warming.
Yeah.
They like talk about all that and do like all their little thing and they're like flying jets everywhere.
Yeah. Like, all right, see y'all later. I'm gonna go fly to 8 more places.
That is one of my favorite.
Love y'all. Take it easy.
Yeah, yeah. What a wild world we live in.
Dude, it is. The fact that you can fly is insane. I just
you can fly, yeah, for
dude,
sure.
And I mean, they've been doing it for a while, I guess. Fucking the Wright brothers kicked it a long time ago.
Look at you,
dude. I got some knowledge locked deep down there. You want to know some random stupid facts? I guess that's not a stupid one.
Top 3.
Okay, I lied. Hang on, let me think. Yankees, the greatest team of all time. That's just a fact. Sorry, I can't. That's not an opinion. What's that one I already said?
The Wright brothers?
Yeah, the Wright
they
brothers
invented a plane.
The airplane. I think. Dude.
I really hope you put your foot in your mouth on this one.
Oh, dude, I totally am. I'm trying to think. I've smoked too much weed in the past 4 years to remember.
What's your favorite things to like read? Are you like a history guy?
I like watching history stuff. I like I do love history. I'll get on YouTube at the end of the night after a show or something, and I'll just like lately my thing's been the Titanic, right? After the submersible, they found the shit not too long ago, or whatever. I don't know if you saw that. Well, they found that, and my thing the past like week has been the Titanic. Like I started out on this video about why the submersible was a bad idea, yada yada yada, all the shit that they fucked up doing it, and I was like, yeah, that's crazy. But then like my recommended was all like these Titanic facts. It was like the real story of the Titanic that Michael Bay didn't tell, whoever the fuck made the movie didn't tell you, right? Yeah, it's wild stuff, dude. Could you imagine being in that position? We talked about it last night on the bus. Like we do cold plunges. I don't know if you ever do cold plunges or anything.
I have before.
Okay. So imagine you're on this fucking ship in the middle of the ocean and the water is that cold and then you hit an iceberg. Like, what's your game plan? Like, are you going to jump off early or are you going to hang out? Like, there's the dudes that hung on the ship for a while.
I'm going to make the women and children wait.
Yeah. I'm going to take the first one with the boys. We're going to get out of there really
with the
fast.
boys.
Me and the boys are gone. Dude, could you imagine though? Like, what a random.
I'd be the freaking guy at the very end.
Playing.
No. Yeah, maybe. I'm not that talented. I can't play
either. But if everybody's about to die, they're gonna listen to me try and saw on a fiddle, dude. We're gonna come on.
Yeah, finally, this is when I pick it up.
This is what I've been waiting for my whole life.
What a horrible way to go for me. I mean, because that would be like my last thought would be like, guys suck.
Dude, I'm awful at this. Why did I spend my whole life?
No, I'd be the guy falling off the top of it and banging off the stuff as I go down. The other thing that confuses me is how far did they have to get away from that boat to not get sucked down?
That was, dude.
I feel like a lot of them did.
You
right?
watch that shit, like the dudes that, because I think there's some that stayed on or something like that. There's this other shipwreck I was watching last night called the Arctic that happened in like 1858, and that's a fucking crazy story. But the Titanic's crazy. They're all crazy. It's ships sinking in the ocean. I guess they're all pretty crazy. But the Titanic one was like when they jumped off, they had to swim like. I mean, I guess they didn't give a full exact distance, but that's a fucking ship going underwater. Like that's going to have some serious suck to go down, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, how far do you think you have to be? Like,
I don't know.
50 feet?
I think we could look it up pretty quick. See, that should be your factoid that you need to know.
Well, I have another one. This is a little factoid, okay? I don't remember the guy's name. This will be my third one. I don't remember the guy's name, but not the best fact. But there's this dude on the ship. He was the last one on the Titanic, right? And essentially, like he had some post on there, and at his post, he was like, "Whoop, we're sinking." So he vibed out and he stayed there, and he drank like all the liquor they had, and he got just.
This is on the Titanic.
Yeah, he got hammered,
Really?
Right? Yeah. This is a story. If this isn't true, then YouTube's fucking lying to me. Sorry, guys. But
They wouldn't do
there's
that.
no way, dude. The internet never lies,
No
man.
shot.
So this guy, he drinks himself like he's fucking hammered. They said like he's like stumbling, having a good time. Essentially, he's like everybody else is freaking out. He's like woo, and he the ship's about to go down, so he jumps off, and he survived because of all that the liquor and shit. Like he was warm in the water. He was like, this isn't that bad. And people next to him are like literally freezing to death, you know? And I don't know if it's like the alcohol making his blood thinner run.
Did he?
fast.
So he survived?
Yeah. From what it said.
Wait, what did you say about thinning your blood?
Alcohol? Didn't it thin your blood?
I think so.
Would that be a reason maybe? Like, wow, I don't know.
I don't know. You're the nursing guy.
Well, I found out that I don't like blood. You know,
How'd you find that out?
Well, I got my blood drawn. I was like, whoa, what's
Was it from seeing the blood, or did you just get lightheaded
yeah,
from the?
it was seeing the blood. It was seeing the blood the first time, but now, like, dude, I literally can't get my blood drawn without getting lightheaded. I don't know if it's like,
I wonder if that has something to do with just because I think people get lightheaded from not from seeing the blood.
Yeah.
Well, because clearly you've seen your own blood before.
yeah, but it's the blood to that extent where it's like a tube that big where you could pour it on me and it would make a big mess. You know what I mean? Like when it's like if it's a scrape or something like that's whatever. But I think it's also like you probably naturally get a little lightheaded just having some blood drawn, but then I'll do that. And then it's as soon as I like look and see, I'm like, oh, fuck, that's a lot of my blood. And I'm not as bad with other people's blood, but it's like, I don't know.
Interesting.
I kind of realized,
I would be worse with other people's blood.
well, dude,
Maybe, but when it's bad,
But it's
obviously
like-
you're.
I don't know. Your blood's supposed to be in your body, and like I want my blood in my body. I'd like that to stay there. So like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? I don't know if it's that. I think it's just also that like after the first time that it happened, like when I freaked out about it, I got in my head and I was like, oh, I don't like this anymore. Like this isn't something I do. And then every time since then, dude, literally like my wife will be like, do I need to come with you to the doctor to get your blood drawn, or like need to have someone watch the kids? And I'm like, no, we're good. We're good. So this last time I went, I got my blood drawn. I was like, yeah, you're good. Stay in the car with the kids. Like, well, I'll be right back out. And I'm getting my blood drawn. And then I hear my wife and my kids are on the corner. And I'm sitting here like, she had just started. And she was like, are you good? Do you need like because the nurses had already told him like, hey, he may need to be put in the chair like that is comfortable that he can sit in and like pass out in. And I was like, fuck, no, you're good. I'm completely fine. And it's in a chair like this, right? So we're sitting here and I'm just like, yeah, you're good. You know, and I'm like scrolling on my phone and like, all right, yeah, maybe if I watch TikTok while I do this, it'll take my mind off it. And I'm scrolling, I'm like smiling, I'm like, yeah, this is great. Like, and then like I just start in the back of my head feeling like, is this great though? They're taking your blood. Like you're getting lightheaded, Kolby. Don't throw up. And I'm like, oh fuck, dude. And I start like, I go, she finishes, and then I'm profusely sweating, right? Like I'm like dripping sweat. I'm like, you have any ice water? And she's like, yeah, let me see. And then she goes to like typing away, and then I see this dude wheel out this big chair, and I'm like, there's no way I'm getting in that chair. So I like took a deep breath. This was all within 30 seconds. I took a deep breath, and he was like, all right, come on, sit here. And I was like, you're good, buddy. And I stood up and I walked out, and I walk around the corner and I see my wife and my kids standing there laughing, and they're like, was that chair for you? And it's like, yeah.
Oh, so you didn't have to. It was a wheelchair.
It was like a heavy, like it was like a extreme like cushiony wheelchair. Like there was like a big ass seat in it, and it was like you could lay it back and sleep. I don't know. It was a badass chair.
So you didn't pass out that time.
No, and I've never passed out.
Okay.
I've gotten awfully close. I would imagine. I don't know what it feels like to pass out, but I can imagine that I was on like level 7 of getting there. You know?
Humans like the idea of taking care. Like I could be a vet. and taking care of animals and stuff doesn't bug me at all.
Yeah.
But humans, the idea of being a doctor or a nurse, like I just don't. Cause I feel like I get kind of grossed out.
Yeah.
I'm not a germaphobe necessarily, but there's
Yeah.
definitely I'm not a huge touch person. I like to, I don't like to drink after people.
Oh, I'm same in a lot of ways. Like I'm not as like touching doesn't bother me as much, but dude, drinking after people is like
I can't do it.
It stems from a memory I have from a young age too. I remember my brother was always really bad about backwashing, right? And I remember me.
Oh my gosh! What do you
and
mean he
him-
was bad about
Well,
it?
I don't know, man.
Like there was a habit.
It's almost like
What
that,
is
right?
how do you?
He was young, so like we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Like,
Dude, I
maybe-
really think you struck a chord with me. Like I think that made me mad.
I'll call him after and tell him.
Dude,
that.
what? So he like just kind of spits a little bit
Well,
back in.
and it's not like I don't know, right? Like that's what I don't get. Like I don't get how it happens. I guess but I remember from a young age, like my dad fucking whipped it into me, like do not fucking backwash in my drink. And I like to this day, my dad is the only guy like was the only guy that
Dude,
would
that
drink
like,
after.
makes me queasy.
It's wild. I'll drink after my wife a little bit. So we were in the truck, right?
But I don't know if I've ever been told not to backwash.
Well, I think as a kid, I mean, I don't drink after my kids, but like my wife will tell them, like,
You don't.
don't backwash. No, fuck no. Are you crazy,
I'm with you.
bro? Yeah,
I don't-
you can't. I mean, unless you want food.
I don't think I would do that.
And my youngest daughter is the same way as Chase. My brother Chase manages me. We were in my dad's pickup driving back from a job site, and I remember I'll never forget. I was in the back seat, and I saw Chase put his Coke back down right here in the cup holder, and a piece of popcorn was floating in it, and I was just like, got queasy. I was like, dude, what? And I pointed it out, and Dad made fun of him. He's like, oh, whatever. He finished drinking it, dude. I was like, dude, it's some gnarly stuff.
Yeah, I can't do it.
It's some gnarly stuff. And my youngest daughter, she's the same way. She's 3.5, turns 4 in November. It's like she's still young. But there's been times me and my wife will like pour a cup out from sitting at the table, and it's like, oh, there's some rice in the bottom of this thing or something. It's like, ooh,
That's
not,
when you just
not my thing.
yeah, I'm out.
Snot too. Ooh, snot's tough for me. I'm not even my kids, like it's still, man, that's like my one thing. I'll hey babe, come not even snot, it's really more boogers. Like big boogers, dude, that shit grosses me the fuck out, man. My wife's bad with vomit though. Like she's like, throw up doesn't really bother me, I guess. Like but like she's like afraid of throw up. Like literally, like we'll start like almost having a panic attack if one of our kids is like,
Yeah, if somebody else throws up, I'll throw up.
oh, she's the same
If they
way.
gag,
She
I'll do
sees it. She's you can gag, and she's like, all right, I'm gonna throw up. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's funny, dude. People have different triggers. It's wild.
Yeah, I think that is a great place to ask you about your new music.
Yeah. It's awful. It's awful, man. It makes me want to throw up. No, man. It's fucking awesome. I'm really excited about that shit.
Because you're about to put out an album, right?
Yeah, we're getting ready. It's I think we got like 3 songs left to cut. And we're doing that in November. So we don't have an actual release date, but it'll be early 2025, like January, February or something. We'll have a new album coming out. But I think we're gonna release a new single this year. I don't know, man. It's also I love releasing new music. It's like, I don't know, just all the, I don't know if it's like the hope or if it's like the just excitement for people to hear what you've been working on and how the shit's developing and how your styles developing and whatnot. And I don't know, it's just the whole, I think it's just the whole unknown of releasing new music is like what's so fun to me. It's just like, all right, here's what I've been working really hard on the past 2 years or whatever since our last record. I hope you like it.
When does it come out?
I don't know exactly what day. We don't have a date yet, just because we're not through recording. But it'll be early next year.
Okay, cool.
Like should be first quarter of next year.
Sick. Well, I heard the newest single. I listened to that, and I dig it. That's a bop.
Thank you, man. I really
That's a
appreciate
bop.
it. I really appreciate it.
So I'm excited to hear a lot of it.
Hell yeah, I'll send you some of the stuff. Man.
Yeah, hopefully I can get a little secret drop box.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
We'll
about.
hook you up, man. We'll hook you up.
Sick, dude.
Yeah.
Well, good luck at your show.
Thank you, man. Wichita Falls. Come on, baby.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Fucking-
fun.
What's the go-to thing in Wichita Falls? Is there anything extremely fun to do?
Go to a Kolby Cooper show.
That's fucking
What's
right, man. That's
up?
what's up, dude?
What's
Way to bring it
up?
back around, dude. Let's go.
All right, cool, bro.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, thanks for doing this.
Dude, anytime. Let's do it again.
We got to get you on the road, though, I think.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you, brother.
See you, bro. See y'all.
Just my rival Lonnie and me. Whippoorwill. Sing the sweet melody